Marjorie, comma, dearest, ellipses. As we delve ever deeper, one cannot help but be struck by the sophistication of the construction of this base. You shouldn't be surprised, I suppose. The ancient Egyptians were well into their obsession with building bloody great triangles in the middle of the Bali Desert by the time this went up. But still, when one conjures Neolithic Europe to mind, it's more, I say, where did that bloody great henge spring from? Unless, whatever this is. And they certainly went out of their way to seal it up tight as a drum. 2 weeks to bypass 2 stone doors. Oh, stairs. Fascinating wall markings, these. Yes, indeed. One wonders at their purpose. Still, plenty of time for that. Mind your step, that's good fellow. Certainly don't want you tripping and breaking your neck, what? You, Ben, be careful with that crate. It's vital expedition equipment. I tell you what, Potts, it is jolly stuffy in here, isn't it? I might just have a little sit down here. Just a short breather. Yes, that's the ticket. How strange. Is that a handle? Or a lever, perhaps? Hey, Gads! Are you fellows all right? No. I rather don't suppose you are. And my poor Vino. Oh, alas. Gone before your time.
Dashed decent of you to have me out to the country pile for a spot of shooting, lad.
Pish and tosh. Think nothing of it. It's been, 5 years? Far too long. And besides, my motives aren't entirely altruistic. Truth is, there's a small matter I want to discuss with you, but that can wait. After you.
Ah, finally, into the inner sanctum. I say, this is quite the private archive you have here. Is that a first edition of Description de l'Egypte?
Naturally. If you don't mind.
And these artifacts, all spoils from your expeditions, I suppose?
In the main, yes, with a few personal curios thrown in for good measure.
Oh, by Jove, this Bordeaux is the cat's meow. Don't tell me it's the 1870.
Archie, be a good chap. Please, be careful with that.
Oh, this old thing? Didn't Scarlet gad about wreaking havoc on the ants with it when she was small?
Quite so. And having survived that, I'd hate to lose it now. It's quite irreplaceable. One of a kind, you see.
Oh, good Lord, how do you read with this?
It's not for reading, Archie. The monocle's lens is milled from some very particular quartz glass that I went to quite extreme lengths to procure.
Not for reading, I should hope not. Practically a magnifying glass.
Sir Archibald, you are at present juggling the objective lens through which Galileo first charted the transit of Jupiter's moons across the face of that most majestic of spheres. And I really must insist that you most carefully put it down.
Let's just put you back where you belong. No harm done, eh? Alistair, what and why and indeed, what is that doing in your possession?
Galileo wasn't just a mathematician astronomer. He was an alchemist. I got to thinking, what if that telescope of his was a product of more than just the physical sciences? Had he perhaps goosed it with all the skills he had at his disposal? And what mysteries he unveiled with that wondrous instrument. I had to have it. I was right, Archie. That lens reveals hidden things. It makes the occult, well, known as absconditus, I suppose.
But Alistair, how on this green earth did you get hold of it?
That, Archibald, is a secret that shall ever remain between myself Museum in Florence, and a certain Mr. Stanton Shaw, Esquire.
So, let me see if I have this quite straight. You want me, Sir Archibald Fotherington Smythe, renowned archaeologist and peer of the realm, to go grub around in some tawdry, run-of-the-mill Roman ruins on a burial mound in the south of France that none of the locals will go anywhere near?
That's about the size of it, yes.
And if I find that, what did you call it, sentinel artifact, that I'm to bring it to you, not publish, not alert the happy scribes of the Royal Archaeological Review, not mark the occasion with even an inch of print in the Times?
Seems like you have the measure of it. Yes.
Well, no. I mean, it sounds hateful. I shan't do it.
Oh, look, old man, not to put too fine a point on it. What else are you going to do with your time? The Egyptian government aren't going to grant you a permit for your own dig. Not so soon after that mummy business.
Now, look here. I've told you I genuinely thought that mummy was one we'd excavated fair and square.
Archie, it belonged to the Egyptian Museum in Cairo.
This thing was right next to our cargo on the dock.
And it was intended as a gift from the people of Egypt to the King of Spain.
But they all barely well look the same.
When you were seen waltzing a 2,000-year-old mummy around in broad daylight, singing a rugby song about the daughter of a local tradesman.
Well, I had rather a lot to drink, I will admit that.
We've known each other a long time, Archie. We go back, don't we?
Oh, I should say so. Wasn't old Flinders dig at Tanis?
1885. I remember because I missed Scarlett's birth for it. My wife was furious. But Archibald Obin, my point is this. In all that time, have I ever steered you wrong?
No, I suppose you haven't.
Well, what say this? You take the expedition, and I'll be sure to smooth things over with the Egyptian authorities. We'll have you back in the sandpit in no time.
And you'll cover the cost of the whole dig?
Absolutely. First-class steamer cabins and champagne all the way.
All this sentinel jazz seems jolly important. Why aren't you handling it yourself?
Would you believe me if I told you I was keeping a low profile because I'm having a spot of bother with a cult?
Probably not. Tell you what, if you'll throw in a couple of cases of that saucy 70 claret, we have ourselves a deal.
You know how to squeeze a fellow dry. Deal.
Excellent. Well, I shall commence my preparations at once. Pots! Damn your eyes, man! Where the devil are you? Load the motor car! We're off!
Archibald! Sir Archibald! It's after 2 in the bloody morning! Best of British, old man. You will most assuredly be needing it.
Sir Archibald Fotherington Smythe, personal diary, date 5. Dearest Marjorie, despite a false start or two, good progress is being made on the initial excavation. Trench 3 is already turning up some dashed interesting Roman ephemera, pottery shards, mosaic tiles, and so on and so forth. Which is, of course, no great surprise, because, as any scholar worth his salt knows, all of this was under Rome's thumb from about 49 AD. Caesar comes along, all render unto, well, me, actually, and shoves the Valley Greeks out of Massalia, a little to the east of here. Anyway, what makes this place so remarkable is its one jolly great earthwork raised by Neolithic tribes, a place to store their stiffs thousands of years ago. Probably took those pagan devils hundreds of years, what? Why, yes, Potts, I would fancy another little snifter of sherry. Most kind, most kind. Now where was I? Ah, yes. Skip forward a couple of 100 years, give or take, and Lucius Ranius Optatus, the local head honcho, spots that the peasants are still hanging about the place, venerating ancient traditions, burning offerings to the old gods, frolicking, naked under the full moon, I should imagine. And so Optatus declares, no more, I say, levels the top of the mound, builds a shrine and his own tomb, complete with his own physog cast in copper, and has his legionnaires round up the locals, demanding that they worship him as a living god. So, when they say, we'd rather not, old boy, he butchers them, then sends his men down into the depths of the earthwork to desecrate everything they can lay their hands on. Utterly rum show. Now, here's the thing. In Trench 5, up in Optatus' tomb, we've only gone and bally well found evidence of those executions, haven't we? And in the coming days, I'm confident we'll uncover the path the Romans took into the depths, and thence the very Sentinel artifact itself. Day 8. My dearest Marjorie, having carefully block and tackled our way into the main site, exploration can finally begin in earnest. To think the last feet to tread these stones were those of marauding Romans, hell-bent on desecration and the domination of the local populace. This air was last breathed before Chaucer chossed, before the bard barded, and before whatever it was that fellow the apple actually did. Certainly makes a chap think, what? The bodies interred here look to be higher status types. Quite the Gauls about town. My little joke. Judging by what personal items and grave goods remain, I would say members of a priesthood or religious caste. That said, the Romans made a real pig's ear of these corpses. Heads and hands missing, objects and offerings scattered all over the blighted place. I'm certain they snaffled everything of value and desecrated the rest. Dashed rude, if you ask me. Potts, is that you staggering about over there? I say, have you been at my Bordeaux? You and I shall have words about that later. Damned impertinence. No wonder I've only a crate and a half left. Day 23. Dear Marjorie, I have somehow made it down into the very bowels of the Barrow complex. No thanks to Potts. No sooner were we through the last stone door, he announced that he and half the remaining men had had it with the whole Bally expedition. Then, without so much as a by your leave, they turned tail and headed off. And, might I add, taking more than their fair share of our remaining supplies with them. Not to mention the last 4 bottles of that devilishly saucy red. Damn it all, Marjorie. Potts was my Batman. Has been for years. Chap simply doesn't expect his valet to up and leave that way. I mean, we're going to fasten my cufflinks and straighten my dicky bow now. It's an outrage. Man has no backbone, nor fortitude of upper lip. My flabber is absolutely ghasted. The nerve. Valet, varlet, more like it. Huh. And so soon after we caught our first tantalizing glimpses of the Sentinel artifact, too. I can hear it singing, Marjorie, calling to me. I will have it, or my name's not Sir Archibald, etc., etc. Anyway, more fool them, say I. This place truly is a marvel. Vast natural cavern. Lord only knows how far below ground we are, how extensive the surrounding cave complex might be, or how the devils who built this temple, because that's assuredly what it is, knew it were here. I shiver to imagine what foul rites were conducted here, how many sacrifices demanded by long-forgotten gods. I fancy you could still hear their screams echoing about. one were to put their minds to it. Memories of a nightmare, buried deep in the hush of the place. Day 19. Dearest Marjorie, I fear I may be losing the trust and respect of the men. Ever since the incident with that damned aero trap, which, let me tell you, simply had no business being operational after all these years, I increasingly find them clamming up and peering at me quite disagreeably when I pass them at their travails. The atmosphere is starting to get to me, just as Rhodes said it might. This barrow is different from the other venerable tombs I've had the fortune to grace. Almost feels like it's waiting? Yes, that's it. Laying in wait, what? Gives me the willies. At any rate, it's clear there's been continued occupation long past the mound's Bronze Age origins. However, the statuary in this shrine rocked me in my boots, literally blew the old socks off. They're clearly classical Greek in origin, but the subject matter, that's from a much, much earlier period. And while Arcottus's troops vandalized the place, there's evidence of a later restoration, which does rather lead one to speculate that peoples have been repeatedly drawn to worship here. Although, to worship quite what? One really doesn't like to say. Dashed odd. Dashed odd. Damn it, Rhodes, you knew enough about this place to keep away yourself, didn't you, you bloody bounder? I should have taken you for your whole damned cellar. Sir Archibald Fotherington Smythe, day... oh, ye gods, day 28. My dearest Marjorie, this, I suspect, may well be my final diary entry. It is my profoundest hope that these recordings somehow make their way out of the depths of this hellhole and thence to your sweet hands. We are out of food, water, and, thanks to that traitorous Cur Potts, there's nary a drop of the good stuff to be found either. Only a handful of the men remain. But by the way they stare at me, and by the rumbling in our stomachs, I fear they mean me ill. This place, Marjorie, this place, it is a veritable cornucopia of horrors, an affluence of primal terrors, but also an oasis of beauty and wonder. I wish you could have... No, I wish I could have told you all about it. Potts, you damnable rabble, is that you? By Jove, you better have at least 2 bottles of my claret with you by way of a peace offering, or, I say, awful pallor you have there, old man. I know none of us have seen the sun in weeks, but you look really quite dreadful, what? Damn. Now look here, I've been more than reasonable. No, keep those grimy claws to your... Wait, claws? Stay back. Back, I say. To arms, men. We are attacked. We are attacked. To the Nexus. We shall make our stand there.
So you got any plans after this? After what, exactly? The whole bringing your friend back with the help of Hell's tech support thing? You know, I really don't. Thought that might be the case. You haven't just gotten off the revenge wagon myself. You have that look about you. How very insightful of you. Hey, with Nathan gone, I've got no crew, which in my profession is a super shitty spot to be in. I'm so sorry about Nathan. And I'm sorry you got swept up in all this. Thanks. Makes me sick what they did to him and the others. And it happens all the time. Well, maybe not to the extremes Nathan suffered, but people get snapped up and used like animals without a second thought. If I had to put money on it, I suspect you'd win person most likely to be able to fuck up that whole operation. You could. I know how those sick fucks work. Maybe you should get back on the revenge wagon. Wanna join me? Ladies only crew? Well, It would be for a noble cause. Come on, it'd be fun. Admit it. It would be nice to not walk in on someone taking a leak off the side of the ship. Yeah, can't guarantee that won't happen, even without men on board. But based on our last sea trip, I'm not sure I'm cut out for life at sea. Come on, Gray. What do you say? I don't know. We could all get matching jackets. Oh, sod it. If you're fine with swabbing my sick off the deck, I'm in.
What was she like, Sergei?
Who? Oh. Her.
I don't mean to pry. It's just that I have her memories. I talk like her. But I don't know what it was like to be around her.
Short Vajmir. Why do you care?
Because we need to understand each other if we are to work together, Sergei. I need to understand how you felt about her.
It is complicated.
What happened to you after she left?
Well, after she abandoned us, you mean?
I thought she sacrificed herself.
Different words, same outcome.
They're not the same.
They are. We are here and she is gone. What else is there to say?
Sergei, please. This is important. We need to trust each other.
Why? So I can pour my heart out to you, and then you can turn around and do the same thing she did?
No, of course not.
You want to know what happened when Maxis left? I lost myself. The moment after her sacrifice, I turned my back on everything she stood for. Does that tell you what you need to know about me?
I'm sure she would understand, Sergei. She would...
She would what? You said it yourself. You might have her voice. You might even have her memories. But Sam, hear me when I say this. You are not her. The sooner you come to terms with that, the sooner we can start getting somewhere.
What are you doing up so late, Edward?
What? Oh, nothing. Just tinkering with some subroutines.
You know I can see you, Edward. You haven't touched your keyboard in an hour.
Yes, well, perhaps I got a bit lost in thought. Does that ever happen to you?
No.
I suppose it wouldn't.
Are you well, Edward?
I'm fine. And you? How's the song?
I just finished it.
Really? Can I hear it?
No, it's not for you, Edward. You lack the artistic soul to understand what I'm feeling.
Do I now?
Yes, you do. My song is about life. While you concern yourself only with death, I see it in everything you do.
If that's what you think, then perhaps you're not as smart as I thought you were.
Or you are not, Edward.
You want to know what it means to be alive? You never will. You're a pile of microprocessors etched into sentience. I may not be a saint, but at least I have a soul.
After all the things you've told me about yourself, Edward, are you sure